Hi everybody. Our Capital Campaign Steering Committee would like to share the following video with you. We'd like for you to see some of the needs of our church and the reason that we are having this campaign. The theme of our capital campaign is in all things love, restore, renew, rejoice. And as you can see, our God has blessed us with a wonderful facility here at King Moravian, but we need to make sure that we take care of it. Take care of it now for those who come here to worship and to serve the Lord and gather in this place. We also want to make sure we take care of it for the generations to come. In this video, we'll share with you what some of the needs are. One is our church's roof. You can see some of it here in the background. Our roof is over 30 years old, is past its duration. Fortunately, it's still working for us, but the day may come and may be soon that we do need to replace it. Most of this video will be taking you through the church to see what our heating and air conditioning system is. I want to thank Robert Simpson and John Mathis, who will be taking us through that part. And then we'll just share a few more things about the capital campaign. So please just sit back, enjoy the video, and hope you'll be able to learn and see what we're wanting to do here at King Moravian.
We are above the vestibule. This is the indoor air handler for the sanctuary. It is attached to a 20-ton outside unit, which is beside the vestibule. It was installed when the building was built in 1992, so it is 31 years old. The boiler in the fellowship hall supplies hot water to this unit for the heating side of it. It is an electric unit.
The heating side off the boiler is in the front. The rest of this is the cooling unit. Ideally, we like to get a unit that is gas fed. That allows us to delete the boiler altogether. That's what we'd like to do. Be one less major unit we have to deal with, and it'll be cheaper to run. And the boiler, it's on its last leg too for replacement. I can't think of anything else I can add to what Robert has already said, other than it's 30 years old. So it's due, it's time. Just want to piggyback on what was talked about upstairs from the vestibule attic. These are the outside condensing units for the 20-ton unit. It's two 10-ton outside condensing units. It's a train, and like we're saying, it was set in 92, so 31 years old. So they're due to be replaced.
We are in the utility closet beside the stage in the fellowship hall. The smaller unit is the boiler. It provides hot water to 3 units for heat, 2 in the fellowship hall and 1 in the sanctuary that we just looked at. It was installed when the building was built in 1992, so it is 31 years old, and it is run by natural gas. The larger unit supplies the right side looking at the stage of the fellowship hall. It also supplies the bathrooms in the fellowship hall. The boiler supplies hot water to this unit for heat. It is attached to a 10-ton outside unit on the right side of the sanctuary. It was installed when the building was built in 92, so it is 31 years old also.
There's not a lot I could add to what Robert said, but only I can say is we've had this boiler worked on numerous times. I couldn't tell you how many times we've had this boiler worked on, but it would be nice if we could just delete this boiler altogether, since we already have gas hookup, and have the first 3 units for this fellowship hall and the sanctuary, have those units that were installed in 1992 all run off gas. That way this could be totally gone.
We are now in the utility closet behind the stage in the fellowship hall. This unit supplies the left side looking at the stage of the fellowship hall and the kitchen. The boiler supplies the hot water to this unit also. It is attached to a 6-ton unit near the ramp to the fellowship hall. It was installed when the building was built in 1992, so it is 31 years old.
This is the tankless water heater we had installed. This would, since we already have this in place, it just makes sense, like I was saying earlier, to do away with the boiler, so we don't need it anymore, because this already supplies all our hot water. And like I said, that'd be one less unit we have to deal with. This is the unit the 10-ton unit in the fellowship hall on the right side of the stage is the outside condenser unit. Behind it, you can see that big vent that comes out. If we were to replace the boiler, that would have to be updated and potentially moved due to new codes if being too close to the current outside unit. And then to my left would be the 6-ton unit that goes on the left side of the stage. If you're facing the stage, it supplies that side of the fellowship hall and the kitchen.
We are now in the attic of the 3rd floor of the classroom building. This unit heats and cools the 3rd floor of the classroom building. It is an all-in-one unit heat pump. It was installed when the building was built in the 1950s. It does work, but it has been requiring repairs about every other year. To replace this unit, it will require installing an outside unit.
I was told this unit came over on the Mayflower. No, it's very dated. It's unreal that it works. I've met with heat and air guys in the past where we've had to change out parts and things of that nature. And I've met with people and they said they've heard of these but never seen one. But we would have to go through the wall, set the line set. Line set was set outside the exit door from the preschool. And that's where the new unit, the outside condensing unit would sit. And they would bring up the new air handler, set it right here, disassemble this one, and reassemble it here. And this would have to be disassembled and taken out in pieces too. I've measured the vent area, and potentially we might could do a crane, but the heat and air companies that we have spoke to in the past, they're not interested in the extra work. They think it's too much work. They'd rather hand carry it up. But this is I can't remember if Robert said, but this is a 10-ton unit and does supply the 3 classrooms for the upstairs.
We are now in the basement of the old sanctuary, also known as the pit. This is an oil furnace that supplies heat to the old sanctuary. It uses fuel oil. There is a tank outside the old sanctuary. We had a repairman come over the winter and try to get this to run. He said it was in such bad shape that he was required to cut the wires to prevent anyone from trying to start it. They believe that these units are 65 years old.
We feel the best option for the old sanctuary is to get a heat pump, do away with this old style old heating system, and just do a heat pump in the attic of the old sanctuary. There's already a heat pump up there, or 2 actually heat pumps up there. But the only issue is, if we was to actually put the heat pumps down here, this ductwork right here that actually runs behind the unit and down this side, both sides of the old sanctuary, it is not insulated. So all the old ductwork would have to be taken out, and we feel it's going to be extremely expensive to do that. That's the reason why we feel going up through the attic and the ductwork with the existing heat pump that, I guess we'll talk about that one next. It died probably 10 years ago. And I think that'll be our next adventure after this one.
We are now in the balcony of the old sanctuary. The air conditioning units, there are 2 inside units, are in the attic above us. Each unit supplies a row of registers in the ceiling over the old sanctuary. This ductwork is insulated and can be reused. These units are attached to a 10-ton unit outside the old sanctuary. This system has been dead for at least 10 years. A window unit was installed to try to help cool this building. We would ask the cleaning crew to turn it on Friday nights, to try to have it cool by Sunday morning. And as you can see right now, this area is being used as a storage area for the preschool.
Above us in the actual attic are the air handlers. It is a 10-ton unit, but it's got 2 5-ton air handlers, and these are the returns to it. As you can see, the ceiling, it's not very safe. So our thought process is to set the actual air handlers on the floor and either box them in to enclose them, or this balcony rail is already not to code, so maybe bring this up and enclose this space so no one can actually fall off, and then this become some kind of utility closet for the church that we use for storage, and air handlers will be easy accessible, easy to get to the vents, to change out the vents. And like Robert said, all the ductwork's already here, so this makes the most sense to reuse this space for that and just do away with the oil furnace. This is the outside condensing unit outside the old sanctuary for the outside condensing unit for the old sanctuary. It is a 10-ton, and like we were saying earlier, it hasn't ran in at least 10 years. It might even be closer to 15 years. It's been a long time since this unit's been running. It's, I think the date on this one, it was installed in '87. So it didn't last, you know, it didn't last any time, to be honest with you. But we had service so many times to where we just got to, it's just unfixable.
We are now in the youth house. This house has never had central air or heating in it, so it has no ductwork. The heat is supplied by a kerosene wall heater, this monitor heater. There's a kerosene tank behind the house. The house is cooled by several window units. There's one here and in the other rooms. Usually, the Sunday school teacher will stop by on Saturday evening to turn on the heat or the air conditioning to be ready for Sunday. Since there's not any ductwork in this house, we are looking at a possible mini split system to heat and cool this house. We are now upstairs in the church office. This unit is in the attic that supplies the second floor. It is attached to an outside unit that is on the right side of the church office. It's a heat pump that was installed in 1986. It has been dead for approximately 12 years. There are 2 window units up here and space heaters for Rachel's office. We are now in the basement of the church office. This unit supplies the first floor of the church office. It is attached to a unit that is on the right side of the church office. It is a heat pump that was installed in 1986. And this unit does work.
We are outside the church office. This is the downstairs unit, which is a 3-ton. This is the upstairs unit, which is a 1.5 tons. They both installed in '86. This unit somehow is still running. This unit passed roughly 12 years ago. That's for Rachel's, like Rob was saying, that's for Rachel's office. And between this being the last of the units, you can see as a conglomerate of all the issues, the heating, air, and stuff we've been going without for a long time, and while we need everyone's help to come together and try to get some of this stuff, this maintenance fixed. And after this, we have one more thing we'd like to share that we can use your help on too.
We are now inside of the church picnic shelter. As you can see, the concrete is not level anymore. It is, some places it's sunk and some places it's risen up. The electrical overhead needs to be redone. The lights are very old, and the whole thing needs to be raised up. It's a little too short.
I also want you to be aware of a couple of other things we're doing with our capital campaign. 10% of what we raise will be going to 2 outreach ministries. One is here at King Outreach Ministry. What another great way that our church family can show us our support to this community outreach. And what's really neat about King Outreach, it really grew out of the King Moravian Church. So very thankful for the opportunity. We're going to have to help them out some and help people in our community. The other half of what we're giving of the 10% to outreach goes to our Mission Blitz. And this is one of our Mission Blitz projects from last year, where we're able to reach out into our community and help people in very tangible ways. Certainly looking forward to what we'll be doing with the funds that come in for that and how we'll be helping other people with future Mission Blitz projects. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you've learned a little bit and you can see what we're wanting to do here at King Moravian. Thank you to those who have already made pledges, who have helped with fundraisers. All that is greatly appreciated. If you've not made your pledge, we do have our pledge cards here at the church. I hope you'll prayerfully consider what you can do, and I hope all of us will consider how we can continue to support this through our fundraisers and events that we are having in the weeks and the months ahead. I know for me, I'm looking forward to our 100th anniversary next year, when we're going to celebrate this King Moravian being 100 years old. And I'm looking forward also to celebrate our capital campaign, meeting our goals and doing the things that we need to do for our church family. So thank you so much again. May God bless you. May God bless your family. May God bless our church family here at King Moravian.